Happy Saturday. My name is Caitlin Costello. Today I wanted to bring you a writer's tag. The original person who created this video will be linked down below. So there's 10 questions that we'll go through and it'll be fun. The first question is, what kind of a writer are you? I would consider myself a fiction writer. But I would definitely more consider myself a fiction writer. Within fiction, I more often write fantasy, sci-fi, and then I have written a historical fiction. My work in progress currently is a fantasy. Question number 2 is, when did you start writing? I started writing when I was 12 or 13. I was in 8th grade, and my best friend was in the advanced English class, and I was very angry about that because we'd been in every other class together. And she got to go on this field trip to a writing conference at a local college, and they were going to be writing it and then going to it, but my class wasn't. I was really angry about it. I asked the teacher, and she said, yeah, you can write something and you can come. But everybody else wrote poetry. I didn't know what they were writing, so I just thought, it's a writer's conference. It's called Young Storytellers. I'm gonna write a story. Everybody else showed up with like a 1-page poem. I showed up with a 27-page short story. Yeah. I was a bit of an overachiever as a child. So you can actually go read that story. It's very poor edited glory over on Wattpad. I'll link my account down below. But you can read it. I put it up there for like kicks and giggles to show like where you can start and where you can get to. Happy little story. What inspires your stories? So that's question number 3. I am a very vivid dreamer. When I dream, I don't always remember it specifically, but I can remember like bits and pieces or like themes. So a lot of my ideas come from dreams. A lot of what I'm dreaming and what I'm reading mash together, and I find that happens a lot. So I have a sort of dream journal, but a lot of the times I'll just remember one scene. So question number 4 is, what themes do you like to explore in your writing? I don't go in thinking of themes. Going back and reading my work, I see them appear, but it's not something I go in like, I am going to focus on this. I see a lot of strong protagonists, female protagonists, because that's what I felt comfortable writing up until this year. I started branching out in my current work in progress, having multiple point of views, and some of those being guys. And coming of age stories. My professor gave us an actual term for it, and it's bildungsroman. I'll link it in the definition of it, but it means a coming of age story. So we focused a lot on that in one of our classes last year, and I realized that that is a continuing theme that I see in my own work that I didn't even know. So I think that's really the only one. There might be others, but I don't go in like, as I said, focus, pinpoint the actual theme. Question number 5 is, are you a pantser, plotter, or planster? So for those of you that don't know, a pantser is someone that just gets the idea and just starts writing and going right into it. A plotter is what it sounds like, a person that plots meticulously, every detail, everything is thought out, character diagrams, world building, everything. And a planster is a combination of the two. When I was little, was definitely a pantser, because I didn't know how. I never had any creative writing classes where I could be like, this is how you do an outline. But as I've gotten into college, I've seen more of the benefit of outlining and have started outlining chapters ahead. So like 1 or 2. Be like, okay, so this happens in this scene. How does this affect them? So I consider myself a planster. So the combination, just because I like letting the characters just do what they want. A lot of them have very different emotions and opinions than I do, and they take control. And that's fine. Their personalities come out more clearly when I don't robotically decide what they will do. Question number 6 is, where are you on your writing journey? Are you querying? Are you editing? Agenting or published? I am heavily editing my work in progress, the rituals. It's an Elven word that means the blessed or the chosen. Ritual with an F on the front. And I am heavily editing that. I am in the second draft, sort of first, second draft. I'm realizing where a lot of my work was underwritten because I wrote it the first time through as a one point of view character. And then I went, there's a lot more to the story, and added several other points of views. And those were heavily underwritten, but now that I've written half of the second book, which I did for NaNoWriMo in December, I feel like I have a better grasp of those characters and I can go back and rewrite those chapters. So I'm sort of in a writing editing phase right now. And I'm about a third, a little over half-ish. Numbers are weird. I'm getting there. So yes, I'm editing. I'm hoping that I can start looking for beta readers, either by the end of the semester or June-ish. Again, depends on how far along I am, so no promises, but if you would like to be a beta reader, definitely head over to my website, and like save my email somewhere, because I'll need you. Question number 6 is, have you ever entered a writing contest? Sort of. It depends on what you feel about NaNoWriMo as a contest. So NaNoWriMo is National Novel Writing Month. NaNoWriMo. And the goal is to write 50,000 words in a month, and it's broken down to, over the 30 days, you write 1,667 words a day. It's a personal win. If you feel like that is a contest, because you have to work for it, then yes, I've done NaNoWriMo for 6 or 7 years. Alright, question number 7 is, who are your writing heroes? My first one I would say is Brian Jacques, who is the author of the Redwall series. So Redwall is a series about a little forest community of woodland creatures. So Redwall Abbey is run by mice, and they have the whole novice system, and there's badgers, and there's squirrels, and there's otters, and there's hares, and it's so intricate for being an animalistic society. It was like my first introduction to fantasy. And then Queen J.K. Rowling with the Harry Potter series. My dad started reading that to me when I was 3. I don't have it here with me at school, but I still have my original copy of the Sorcerer's Stone. And then as I got older, into middle school and high school, James Patterson, a huge reading fiend with his work. All aspects of his work, young adult and his adult fiction. I would say my 3 major writing heroes have been Brian Jacques, J.K. Rowling, and James Patterson. Triple J. I'm a weirdo. So number 8 is, have you ever been to a writing conference? No. And the last question is, do you have any tips for new writers or young writers? Since I still am in that category, and I'm still learning all the time, take in everything you can about experience, be that from published people, books, your professors, your teachers. All of them have a different level of knowledge, so why not take advantage of it? So number 2 would be, don't let people's doubt stop your dream. So don't stop fighting if that's what you want, if this is what you want. And number 3, side story. Can we tell a story? We're gonna tell a story. I'm finding it very difficult to edit my book right now because I've been writing this book for years, and so different aspects of it are from different levels of my writing ability. And I find it very hard to go back and look at the beginning of my book because that was the beginning of my writing. And so I see every flaw in the book. And it's very hard to look at that. But at the same time, I look at it and I realize how much I've grown and how much I've learned since I started writing this book when I was 15. So that will be all for today's writing video. Again, happy Saturday. All of the links for various things will be in the description, and I'll see you next time.